Today I'm gonna make a submarine hatch, complete with conning tower. Oh no, did I do a Kursk? For this build, I used EVA foam, scrap wood, a trash can, specifically the lid, cardboard tubes, putty, paint, super glue, hot glue, cutting tools, sanding tools, safety gear, scissors, razor pens, and a box cutter. To start, I'm going to attach a large wheel to the outside of a trash can lid. I made that out of foam and a radio dial. Okay, so I know this build is a little bit out of left field. Where it's coming from is I did a cutaway in an earlier project that was supposed to look like the outside of a fallout shelter, and I thought, oh, this is easy. I just stick a handle onto a trash can lid. It'll look like an industrial pipe opening. But it turns out I can't actually fit inside of this trash can, the largest one I own. So heads up, serial unalivers. Gonna need to break out the chainsaw for this job. And I don't think the sequence really works without a person in the shot, you know? See, it's really hard to make these videos entertaining without cutting away to jokes. Because it's a tutorial. It's a boring engineering video, you know? Hence all the really random prop builds. So I'm gonna have to build a wider base for the hatch to sit on top of, therefore allowing a larger space for the actor to hide in underneath. And once you've gone that far, you might as well just make a conning tower, you know? Now you might be saying, this is a lot of work to go to just to make a single cutaway gag. And you'd be right. But the reality is a set piece like this can be redressed multiple ways to look like a number of different things. I'm talking submarine, vault entrance, tank turret, airlock, bathyscaphe, beetle sub, Byford dolphin kerfuffle, Mad Maxie and Mario. The list is endless. Oh, was I supposed to be saying instructions? Make it out of foam. Those are the instructions. Don't have foam? Well, tough shit. Go to a thrift store, buy a kid's big wheel toy, chop off the steering wheel, and repaint it. Probably come out cheaper. This ain't rocket science, he said as he specifically built an airlock. For a submarine, though. Subs have rockets, you know, world-ending ones. I attached the wheel to the trash can lid, making sure it could spin. I also weathered the inside a little bit, just so it looked a little less like one solid injection molded piece of plastic. Now I have to make the hinge. So I've actually got a bunch of real door hinges, but this has to look really big and awkward and industrial. So I'm making a new one out of foam floor mats. I made sure to cut these in a way that they would align seamlessly with the edge of the hatch, the curvature of it, I mean. Then I glued them on with hot glue, because once it's painted over, hot glue kind of looks like a weld. Then I closed up the edges using more scrap foam. To simulate the hinge pin bolts, I'm using a cat toy that I cut in half, because it's the same material as the floor mat foam and saves me a ton of sanding. Okay, so we're almost done with the hatch itself, but I need a handle on the inside for somebody to grab onto. Now, this handle is perfect, but it was originally permanently built into another prop. So in order to remove it, I'll need to expose that prop to the most destructive force known to prop makers. Any actor. Just any actor in existence. Poor thing, never stood a chance. Luckily, the gat was an organ donor. So here we go. What was it? What was the gat an organ donor? Yeah, there's not a mass grave of props in my basement. Black market prop trade. I'm sorry, force multipliers, but the world's too PC for you these days. Now get out of here. Just go. Alright, now more hinge work. I cut up a dowel for the hinge pin itself. Oh hey, you should clamp down dowels if you're gonna use them on a miter saw. Just saying. Otherwise they could spin and then you'll die. Glued it in, sanded the edges with my rotary tool, and then I filled in the gaps with putty, which I guess actually isn't necessary on an industrial prop like this. So, I don't know, I guess that was just force of habit. Then I gave it a base coat of black, honestly for no other reason than this paint has been a quarter full for a decade, and I'm sick of looking at it. Then I gave the whole thing a top coat of gray, including the underside too, which I did have to wait overnight in between coats before flipping it. You know, these things don't happen overnight, he said as he just said he did the thing overnight. You know what I'm trying to say. While I wait for it to dry, I made the hinge loop by cutting a foam rectangle and then heat forming it into a U shape. That's not nearly enough time for the hatch to have dried, so I got to work on the conning tower. For this, I used scrap wood off of another project. Actually, this would have gone in the trash because there's a ton of water damage on the bottom, but that's like 1/5 of it. It's like, am I just gonna throw out an 8-foot chunk of plywood when 7 feet are still good? You know? This is the hoarding part of my brain. Okay, now the whole point of this build is the trash can is too narrow, so this has to be much wider than the hatch itself. So to make a circular platform that's wide enough, I drilled a hole in the end of a yardstick. Hang on. Duct tape. It's a cliche for a reason. Okay, there we go. Moving on. Then I drilled another hole more towards the middle and also much wider. Then I temporarily attached the end of the yardstick to the middle of the panel and stuck a marker into the wider hole. This is going to be the radius of our circle. Then I walked it around the plank to make a perfect circle. All right, Squidward. Also, make sure you dress like Bruce Campbell for this step. Otherwise, the project won't work. That's crucial. That is a crucial step in the process. Then I drilled another hole closer into the yardstick. It's just barely narrower than the hatch door itself. Now, because this is supposed to be a conning tower, I have to stretch it out a bit in the back. The idea is that when it's a submarine, you're filming from the side and it's sort of elongated. When it's an airlock, you film it from the front and it looks cylindrical. So I moved the ruler back a bit and then drew another small circle overlapping it with the main one. That was the tripod leg, by the way. Not an earthquake. Support me on Patreon so I can afford a camera crane. Do those even still exist, or did drones just make them obsolete? I'm not gonna set a drone to hover while I work. I mean, don't get me wrong, that I'm not knocking new technology. That would be super convenient, but it is crazy windy where I live. I tested a drone, immediately destroyed, just shattered against the side of the workshop. I should just use a flagpole. Then I drew straight lines connecting the outermost point of each of the circles in a sort of funnel shape, and then I cut it out very, very sloppily. Should have clamped this down better. Also, I think I gotta change one of those blades. It's fine. All that means is I gotta spend 20 minutes filing it with wood files. But now that it's a more manageable size, I brought it inside, which is perfect timing because there was literally a blizzard the next day. Then I drilled a hole just inside the inner circle's trace line with a slightly more than 1/4 inch drill bit to create a space for the saber saw. This way I can start mere millimeters from the line instead of having to destroy the frame to get into it. So I cut out the inner circle, and then next I drilled a hole in front for the periscope. I sanded the edge, but still decided to cover it with foam strips, just so that the layers of wood wouldn't be visible. Unless you're doing a bird's eye view, there's no way to keep the edge out of the shot, so figured I wouldn't take any chances. Plus, I've got a million of these puzzle pieces. So many, in fact, that I put some on the inside to create a little bit of a lip. I made it double thick to cover the texture, and I added a couple of detail panels to the back of the conning tower, just because I thought the space looked kind of blank. And you look at a vehicle like a submarine or a ship from far away, they look really simple. You get up close and you can see just an insane amount of detail. I covered the part that the hinge would connect to with a piece of painter's tape so that the paint wouldn't mess with the glue, and then I painted the whole thing battleship gray. Now, depending on what I might use this for, I imagine I'd repaint it. In fact, the safest thing to do would be paint it bright green and just change the color in post. But I'm trying to limit the post work, you know? So for now, just gray. Let's just go with gray. That's safe. This is a safe choice. Yeah, safe. Make it look like a weapon of war. What could go wrong? And that's how he died. Once you flatten it out so it's all one color, particularly a flat color as opposed to a reflective one, it's gonna reveal some problem areas that are gonna need to be filled in. So I filled those in with spackle, just regular spackle, and when that dried, did a little bit of spot touch up. Then to get the height of the conning tower, I cut lengths of 2x4. Now this is where you spend the budget. These are brand new lengths of wood because they have to support actual weight that in some instances is gonna be above the actor's head. Now I am gonna test this out myself before I actually write something involving this set piece and another actor, but still, I don't want my props to collapse on me. That would be a stupid way to die. Just saying. This is where you spend the budget. Safety. So these are going to act essentially as table legs. These may be visible during interior shots, so I painted those gray as well, just so that they would read as steel structural beams as opposed to wooden set supports. Also, I painted the inside of the tower roof because I assume it's going to be visible on the interior. When the paint was dry, I attached the 2x4s about an inch into the interior of the platform so that there would be a little bit of an overhang. Then I wrapped it in a roll of foam to look like the outer hull. This doesn't go all the way around. The right starboard side of this is open to accommodate the camera and lighting. If for whatever reason I need to do a 360 matrix shot, then I can easily use another foam roll to close it up. But for now, I need the opening. This is what's known in the industry as a wild wall and is absolutely necessary because as much as film technology has advanced, space for camera equipment has always been an issue. The tripods I use are not good tripods. Really good camera tripods are massive and heavy and they're amazing, but they take up a ton of space, to say nothing of lenses. Speaking of, then I added a periscope to the top. This is actually a functional periscope, which is surprisingly easy to make. All you need is two mirrors reflecting off of one another, also known as sorcery! To sell the illusion, I added random controls to the interior. None of it actually does anything, it's all just there for looks. And there she is, the SS Red Jake-tober. If you enjoyed this video, then consider supporting me on Patreon so that I can make more. Inversely, if you hated this video, then support me on Patreon so I can make more. Because clearly, there's a level of wealth somewhere between millionaire and billionaire where one takes to the seas. All of them do it, and it never goes well. Just ask one Stockton Rush. Oh, too soon? Too soon? See, we all think we're better than these wealthy dilettantes, but as I sit here scoffing at Stockton's death sub or Bezos' ship, I find myself redesigning those ridiculous vehicles. Really? You gonna bleep that one too? Oh, well, you should have made the hull spherical to withstand pressure evenly. You should have widened the fuselage to hold more propellant and, I don't know, actually achieve orbit. Oh, look, I did what John Glenn did 70 years ago. And then it dawns on me, oh, holy shit, I'm no different. Ah, no! Shake off that fleeting moment of self-awareness. Get it off, get it off. So if you hate my guts, support me on Patreon. If I reach my goal, I'll burn up on re-entry. If I fall short, I'll implode mining pre-atomic steel off of the Gneisenau. Alright, hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the bell icon to be notified of the future uploads, and let me know what other props you'd like to see me make in comments down below. Thanks again, happy crafting, see you later.